Hello, friends. Welcome to Stardock. Ur-quan Masters. So, they are coming out with a new Star Control game. So I wanted to play and have some time. And Star Control was basically Star Control 2, which is the story. So I played this when it first came out, ages and ages ago. It was awesome. I think I'm going to need that. Do something about the sound, because it's probably going to be it's not for me. Alright, options. Alright, turn off the sound so I can talk. So, I bought Star Control 1 and 2 on Steam because it was pretty cheap. And it was well worth getting because, you know, I bought this game before. I've had it on the 3DO. I've had it on the... God, that shows how old I am, doesn't it? I've had it on other systems as well. And... for some reason, now we're doing credits. I tried to play it on the Steam version that I downloaded, and there were some things about it that I didn't like. Not that they're bad, just didn't display well. It was very hard for me to record. So, while you can get, and I am linking to in the description, the Steam copy of Star Control, I am playing the HD remastered version that's based on the version for the 3DO. And there's a couple reasons why I'm playing this particular version. One, it's free, so public domain, open source, whatever you want to call it. I don't think I call it abandonware because I think this is an adaptation of it. But the other thing is that in the PC version in the Steam store, your lander screen is about 3 inches wide and you can't see anything. That, and the only way I could get controls to work in DOSBox without doing some finagling in the configuration files was to use the keyboard. Now, if you're trying to control something at an angle in an old DOS game using the keyboard, it doesn't take well to traveling at an angle. Plus the fact that modern computers are way faster than the 286s, and I couldn't get the speed down right. So recording it was kind of a wash. Playing it was not as bad once I got the speed down. However, this version records easier, so that's the reason and justification why I'm playing it. So we're gonna play this one. We're gonna play it. There's hundreds of planets you can visit in this game. I doubt we're gonna go do a full playthrough. We're going to do as much of the story as we can, but when the new version comes out, when the new game comes out, we're going to jump into that, because this is just to bring us up to speed, so to speak. And I remember back to when I started this channel and I played classic old games. And I was thinking today, making it an early New Year's resolution to go back and finish some of those games that we never got to finish because we got so caught up trying to play some of the new ones. So I'm going to go through some of my playlists and reevaluate some of the older games that I played. And then finish those games and finish some of the series and do some of the things. God, it's hard to believe it's been more than a year. But, you know, time sure flies when you don't know what you're doing. Anyway, let's start the game. there were many great battles. Earth and her partners in the Alliance of Free Stars against the evil Ur-quan and its hierarchy of battle thralls. And the Ur-quan were winning. Meanwhile, on the edge of the known frontier, an amazing discovery was made. Far beneath the surface of an unexplored alien world, a huge underground city filled with the technological wonders of an advanced alien race, the Precursors, who vanished 1,000 centuries ago. But then, the main Ur-quan fleet broke through the Alliance's defensive lines, isolating the planet, stranding the scientists 100 light years away from Earth. Gonna get all Ur-quan'd up. They waited, hopefully, for a rescue vehicle, which never came. Silly scientists and their hope. 20 years have passed. We, the survivors of the research mission, have colonized this world. We continued our investigation of the underground city, and we have discovered its purpose. It is factory. A factory for building starships. So I'm doing the cutscenes as slides because it's easier, but there aren't enough materials to make a complete vessel. We can finish only the skeleton of one starship. But that must be enough. Because you must captain the vessel and return to Earth. To travel the great distance, you must push through into hyperspace. Find out what has happened over these many years. Tell Earth of our plight. I think they got problems of their own. And if the war with the Ur-quan still rages, fight for Earth and the Alliance as well as you can. Captain, what is your name? Okay, so before we go any further, I just want to say that this version does take a little more time to explain what you're doing. The version on Steam, which was, I believe, the original version, just kind of dumps you in the game and counts on the fact that you have a manual to tell you what you're doing. Zelnick. We'll go Zelnick AB. We'll call it the Vindicator, just out of simplicity. Okay, now the graphics in this are way better than the original. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we are... Oh. Save game. Let's see what our controls are. Oh. So we're having a little bit of a joystick control issue, it seems. As in, I don't have any control with the joystick. So I use the keyboard, but I don't think we're going to get into too hefty, I hope. What planet is this? This is Mars. Going kind of slow. Keyboard's a little clunky after all these years to navigate with. Uh-oh. Probe.
Attention, interloper. Heed this recorded message. This drone vessel speaks with the voice and authority of Ur-quan. You are trespassing within Ur-quan space. This world, Earth, may not be approached for any reason, nor will hostilities against our orbital platform be tolerated. In addition, your ship does not respond to standard hierarchy identification transmissions, and is therefore deemed to be independent. This is not permissible. Only subservience shall be tolerated. This drone now leaves to inform the Ur-quan of your transgressions. You are commanded to remain here and await the arrival of the Ur-quan. Disobedience will be punished.
Oh no, we're gonna be punished. What the? That's a hard target to hit. It's like docking in the original Eve. Or Elite.
Attention, unidentified space vessel. I am Starbase Commander Hayes of the slave planet Earth. Our microwave broadcast extremely weak. Situation critical. Energy cores exhausted. Scanners and deep radar are non-functional. We cannot identify your vessel. Are you the scheduled hierarchy resupply ship? Repeat, are you the resupply vessel?
Okay, no, this is the Starship Vindicator, but we stand ready to assist you. Yes, this is the resupply ship. What do you need resupplied? Slave planet? Hierarchy resupply vessel? What's going on here?
Look, I don't know who you are or why you're here, but right now the only thing I'm worried about is saving the lives of 1,900 men and women aboard this starbase, and right now you're our only hope. I can't keep the transmitter on too much longer. We need the power for heat and air, so if you don't have any radioactives on board your vessel, please get some and bring them back here before it's too late.
I think he's going to tell us what to do.
The way to get radioactive in this system would be to land on Mercury and scour the surface for deposits of radioactive elements. But be careful. Mercury's a pretty inhospitable place. Watch out for earthquakes and those high temperature areas. Thanks, I'll make sure to mention this the next time I talk with our masters. I'm sure they will reward you.
Not likely. Okay, so... let's, I seem to... Man, turning sucks. I seem to recall Mercury was a pretty bad place to go early in this game. I can't remember if it's the moon. Got some minerals, some biologics. Let's go get that energy. This actually controls a lot better than the PC version. Now I get to play Pac-Man. Apparently our landing was very poor. Oh, crap. What are you? Apart from service, we discovered an alien base and explored its interior. The installation must have been abandoned many years ago, but great care has been taken to make it appear active. Life support systems are functioning, fusion regenerators are at full output, and robotic construction vehicles have been programmed to roam the lunar surface, bulldozing moon dust into random piles. In addition, we have found the installation's hyperwave locked in transmit mode, endlessly playing the same recording, although we cannot translate the message. Our Xenotech Ensign Rigby believes the message is some kind of alert or mayday broadcast. The base is filled with useful materials and equipment, and we will scavenge as much as we can and bring it on board immediately. Let's go get the rest of this crap. Well, they don't yield anything. That's weird. They're not really biologic. What happens if we hit one? Nothing. Does that get us energy? Plot a course for the space station. It's like trying to pilot a building. Riding on a cow. Going at light speed.
Did you find any radioactive elements for our power cores?
I think I did. No, I guess I didn't.
Hurry back, Captain.
Okay. Let's go to Mars. I think Mars might have some. They don't have the weather that Mercury has. Slow orbit. wonder if this game still thinks Pluto's a planet. Got minerals. Got no energy. No biologics. So it should be safe to go down and just pick up crap. Basically, your crew acts as your hit points. We run out of crew, it's game over. I gotta say, while not horrible, keyboard controls are not perfect. I'm gonna work on that controller for tomorrow. I guess we're full up. Oh, I shot the minerals. Silly me. Let's go a little further out. No. Ugh. There. We'll start with the planet, then we'll do the moon. This is Saturn. Is there anything gonna be anything useful on Saturn? Minerals, no. Energy, no. Biologics, no. Minerals. No energy and no biologics, though. Alright, well, let's go get it. Ow. Alright. Well, there's nothing here. We lost 2 crew members going down there. Let's try the next planet out. That's going to be Jupiter. But we're skipping Jupiter because it's not in view. Neptune. Triton. Oh, come on, I touched it. Collision detection is terrible in this game. I can miss an entire planet. Twice. This game is so much better than No Man's Sky. Okay, nothing there. Let's go hit Venus. See what it's got. Something in this solar system has to have energy. That's only 457 degrees. Brave the bad weather. Mercury. Mercury doesn't have any energy readings either. Oh. Alright, we're gonna be in and out. Uranium. Whew. Lost a lot of crew. Uranium's radioactive. That was costly. And the ships does handle better after you get some upgrades in it.
Did you find any radioactive elements for our power cores? We're initiating transfer of radioactive, Captain. Now, as soon as our engineers can refit the energy cores, there, that's much better. Power ratings are climbing. Life support is coming back into the green. Deep radar systems and sensors are now online, and I can scan your vessel. What the hell kind of ship is that? Just who are you, Captain?
We'll go ahead and tell him.
Star Control science mission, huh? Captain, I served as a Star Control officer during the war aboard several cruisers in the Corward Front. And if there'd been any scientific mission to Vela, I would have heard about it. You know, come to think of it, there were some rumors that Corridor 9, the Special Operations Division of Star Control, was directing some hush-hush operation near Androsynth Space. The Vela star system, yes, that would be the right direction. So, Captain, if you say it's true, how do you explain that huge alien starship you're flying? And why are you here? What do you want from us? Fight the Ur-quan. Win back our freedom. I remember having such thoughts myself once, long time ago. That was in the first years after the defeat, when it was still terrifying to look up and see the bloody glow of the pulsating slave shield overhead. Though day and night we gazed up at the impenetrable wall as though the sheer power of our hatred would pull it down. But over the years I spent so much of my time struggling, down on the surface, under the shield, and then later up here trying to keep the station alive, that I'd forgotten what it means to be free, to hate our Ur-quan masters. And now here you are, in an alien ship of unknown power, offering me your assistance to fight against the hierarchy again after all these years. Captain, your offer is intriguing. It's tempting to think that with your advanced precursor technology we can somehow crack the Earth's slave shield and reassemble the Alliance to attack the hierarchy. And this time, win the damn war. Consider the consequences if you should fail. The Ur-quan won't just punish us here on the station, they'll exact a gruesome retribution on the surface below as well. Before I commit this station to helping you attack the Ur-quan and accepting the risk of annihilation if we are defeated, I have to make sure that you and your ship have what it takes to oppose the hierarchy. I'll make you a deal. If you can eliminate the alien base on the moon and get rid of that threat at least, I will seriously consider your offer. I'll be darned. All these years we've been listening to their incoherent broadcast, and we never even guessed. Captain, listen closely. Long-range sensors show a ship closing on this station fast. Our computer identifies it as Ilrath, Avenger class. I think you've got a fight on your hands, Captain. Your best bet is to wait until you have point-blank range. Captain, it's jamming our signal.
By the fetid breath of the Dark Twin Kazon, a human and an alien starship. How fascinating. When I intercepted that Ur-quan drone and learned that an unidentified starship had approached Earth, I never expected to find such a remarkable vehicle in the hands of a human. Humans are prey animals, weak and helpless. But here is a human in an armed starship, and therefore in direct violation of the oath of fealty. I am sure our masters, the Ur-quan, will punish Earth most severely for this treachery when I present them with the twisted wreckage of your ship and your many charred corpses.
The hell did you come from?
Since you will soon be dead, I will gladly explain. We have spent many years gleefully preying on the Pakunka. They are a pitiful, easily killed species. And we would have continued in this divine worship of Dogar and Kazon, but we required additional crew members and repairs to our cloaking device. So we departed the Jiglass constellation and set course for home. But before we had reached our region of space, we detected the passage of a nearby vessel, the Ur-quan drone. It informed us about you, so here we are.
And
now you die.
Guess that's all we get. Alright, so now we know how to shoot.
What a beautiful sight, Captain. I haven't seen an Avenger blown away like that since the battle in Draco. I guess you've shown that you can handle yourself in battle, Captain. So my last reservation about helping you has been dissolved. I will commit this station to helping free Earth and defeat the Ur-quan. We may get our atoms rearranged in the process, but by God, Captain, we're going to try. So the obvious first step is to get the precursor equipment and software over here so that we can make it work with our ship repair fabricators. But then what, Captain? A sensible plan, Captain. Let's get to work. Good luck. By the way, Captain, I think we need a name for this new alliance we're going to forge. And since it was your idea, it's only fair that you get the honor of naming it. So, what will it be?
United Federation of
That has a
Worlds.
familiar ring to it. Nonetheless, we'll make it so. The United Federation of Worlds. Now, Captain, I expect the configuration process for the starbase to take at least 2 weeks, so let's get to work. I have good news to report, Captain. We have successfully integrated the precursor technology from your ship into our fabricator system, and as you can see, we've already begun minor repairs on your ship, patching up some of the micrometeorite holes. We noticed that your ship does not have an emergency warp escape unit, so our engineers rigged up some for you and each of your escorts. Now, you should be able to escape from a bad situation with the touch of a button. But there is a cost, however. The unit gulps up 5 fuel units each time your precursor ship uses it. Also, we now have a limited capacity to make modifications to your ship, to refine starship fuel, to build additional combat ships, and to train new members of your crew for the flagship and any ships you acquire for your fleet. Captain, I know you're eager to get to work, so I'll be brief. If you have any questions how this starbase works, what resources we need, or just some background information on the galaxy, don't hesitate to ask.
I have minerals to offload.
The more minerals you bring us, Captain, the faster we'll be able to tackle the Ur-quan. Certainly, Captain. What do you need to know? What aspect of history, Captain? What about the war? Earth got involved late in the game in 2112 when the Chenjesu arrived in our solar system for the first time. So let's back up a few years to 2098 when the Chenjesu super-sensitive receivers detected a strange signal from the Ophiuchi constellation. Though even the Chenjesu didn't know it, it was the first sign of the Ur-quan's arrival. The Ur-quan, having detected the presence of many sentient species, were beaming out an exulting hunting cry. The first direct evidence of the Ur-quan's intent was the sudden conquest of the Umga, a solitary though not unfriendly species in the Orionis constellation. The Chenjesu, distraught by the invasion, were further angered when the Ur-quan turned their fleets on the hostile but weak Ilrath race. A hastily assembled defense force of Murnaherm and Chenjesu vessels turned the Ur-quan fleet aside, but the invader moved into Spathi space, rapidly subjugating that race. With each new conquest, the Ur-quan fleet grew larger as it added slave vessels to its ranks. Earth joined the Chenjesu to form the Alliance of Free Stars at about the same time as the Androsynth stars fell to the Ur-quan armada. Before the ink was dry on our agreement with the Chenjesu in 2116, a new race appeared in orbit around the moon and asked for admittance to the Alliance. It was the Arilu Lalile. The timing seemed unusual, and the Arilu were definitely weird, looking like saucer men from Mars, but we were too busy cranking up our mothballed heavy industry that we really didn't pay it much attention at the time. The Ur-quan came roaring through Vux space and tried to push past the India and Mira star systems. Their onslaught was barely repulsed, and our counterattack made hardly a dent on the hierarchy forces, but we held the line. The coreward front remained intact. Over the following 10 years, there were many great battles between the combined Alliance Starfleet and the Ur-quan and their hierarchy of battle thralls. Then in 2134, a dramatic shift in the balance of power took place. This must have been about the time the science research mission was sent to the planet of Vela. Our fleets were pushed back from the Indy-Mira line beyond Raynet. Holding Rigel caused grievously in Chenjesu forces, and the Ur-quan, recognizing this weakness, shifted to focus the brunt of their forces on Procyon. That was the last we heard from the Chenjesu and the Murnaherm. A few weeks later, waves of ships hit us from all directions. When Ceres Station, our outpost on the asteroid belt, fell to the hierarchy, we knew we were beaten, but we fought on anyway. 3 days later, the Ur-quan vaporized our last remaining laser forts on the moon, and the dreadnoughts took up geosynchronous position above Rome, Moscow, Beijing, Tokyo, London, Buenos Aires, and Washington. We'd lost the war and we knew it. But the Ur-quan decided to make it real clear. And that's why if you check any of our most recent maps, you won't find Buenos Aires.
Poor Buenos Aires.
At the start of the war, here on Earth, we were working like crazy, churning out hundreds of heavy cruisers and smaller support vehicles. The Ur-quan were busy too. Unbeknownst to us, they had moved down towards the Luton Star Group and were attacking the Vux, who only the Yehat knew existed. Our botched first contact with the Vux took place in 2119, and it was the biggest single mistake we made during the war. After defeating the Vux, the Ur-quan fleets ran smack into the combined might of the Yehat and Shofixti, supported by the first wave of our cruisers. Again, the Ur-quan turned away from the hard spot to attack the weak, though we just thought they were running away. In fact, the Ur-quan had found another independent alien race, the Mycon, in the Brahe constellation. The Mycon's voluntary submission to the Ur-quan brought the return of the Ur-quan fleets, now swollen with 100 devastating Mycon pod ships. The last entrants to the conflict were the Cyrene, a race of space gypsies who had escaped the hierarchy by moving their vast fleet of slow-moving habitats into human space. With the side set, the last Ur-quan offensive began. After the UN submitted their formal surrender, we were given a week to decide the nature of our servitude. The Ur-quan demanded that the decision be made through popular vote. When all the votes were tallied, Earth had chosen not to fight for the Ur-quan. We had become a fallow slave world. We were given a month to withdraw all of our people and equipment to Earth. Anyone or anything left off-planet would be destroyed after the shield went up. Then the Ur-quan broadcast an odd message. All objects of human construction more than 500 years old were to be abandoned. We didn't know what the Ur-quan meant until they moved their dreadnoughts into new orbital positions and opened fire on the surface with their fusion weapons. In seconds, large sections of London, Paris, and other European cities were incinerated. At first, we thought they were going to annihilate us after all. And we noticed they were also striking such targets as the Giza Pyramids, the Parthenon in Athens, and Stonehenge. Curiously, the United States was almost untouched. The flaming rain lasted 40 hellish hours. It took days after we crawled from our smoldering shelters to realize what the Ur-quan had done. Our new masters had targeted every building, monument, or other man-made construction older than 500 years and destroyed it. In those 2 days, we lost most of the history of mankind. In some cases, the Ur-quan destroyed places we did not even suspect were significant. From their positions in orbit, the dreadnoughts blew away a kilometer of land in central Iraq, vaporized several targets in the Amazon rainforest, punched a big hole through the Antarctic ice cap to destroy something deep under the surface, and melted a broad swath of the ocean floor in the southeastern Atlantic. Then, just a couple of days later, the shield went up, and our contact with the outside world stopped. The next time I saw the stars was 8 years ago, when I was transferred up here to be the new commander of this starbase. Would you like any information on any other aspect of history? Which group of aliens? None that we had made formal contact with. The Chen Jesu implied that they had met 2 other star-faring species, one near the Gickless constellation and the other directly coreward from Procyon. The Arilu Lalile once mentioned having some fun with an alien race in Draconis, but like so much else with the Arilu, they never revealed the whole story. I'm sure there are hundreds more alien races in our galaxy, but beyond what I've told you, your guess is as good as mine.
All right.
Would you like information on any other aspect of history? Sure. Anything else? We can modify your precursor ship, build additional combat vessels, and supply you with fuel and crew. Our engineers and precursor specialists agree with the scientists from your world that your starship was designed to be a workhorse vehicle, which can be easily reconfigured for different missions by adding or swapping self-contained equipment packs, which we call modules. The modules we can build right now are thruster units, which make your ship move faster, attitude jets, which allow you to rotate the ship more quickly, crew pods, which provide life support facilities for up to 50 additional crew members. storage bays which increase your ship's cargo capacity for mineral resources, fuel tanks which hold an additional 50 units of fuel, dynamos which feed energy into your combat energy batteries, improving your weapon's rate of fire. And last but not least, ion bolt guns, combat weaponry, the exact function of which depends on its location aboard the ship. When put in the first or front module slot, it fires a single shot forward. When put in the second slot, it fires 2 shots, spread to the left and right of center. When put in the third slot, it fires 2 shots directly, left and right. And when put in the last or rear slot, it fires a single shot straight backwards.
Okay. How do I get fuel?
This base is designed to serve as hierarchy ships. Fortunately, your flagship uses the same stabilized antimatter technology as hierarchy vessels and will be able to synthesize what you need. However, due to the size of your ship, we'll have to produce vast quantities of fuel, which will be a substantial drain on our resources. Our shipyard facilities are sophisticated and fully automated, permitting a handful of Starbase personnel to do the same job as 500 vac-suited construction workers. However, the only designs that we had in our computers were incomplete hierarchy ship designs. Things looked grim until one of the officers came forward with an amazing story. Even though the Ur-quan destroyed every Earthling cruiser in the fleet nearly 20 years ago, one of my maintenance engineers was a Starship production assistant at the Detroit shipyard. When Earth was conquered,
Great, we're still getting our
she was
starships
ordered
from
to
Detroit.
destroy all ship construction databases. But she secretly made copies of the blueprint discs and then kept them with her
Get a
ever
Chevy
since.
Nova and take off.
These discs contain all the data we need to build as many Earthling cruisers as you want, provided you, Captain, can supply the
Galaxy
large
500?
amounts of mineral resources required to build those vessels. In theory, Captain, we could build alien starships here if we had designs for them. However, it's a well-known fact that alien vessels just can't be flown in combat without native starship captains at the helm. We have almost 2,000 highly motivated, skilled professionals aboard this starbase, and every single one of them wants a berth aboard your starship. However, each hand we lose to your ship means less manpower here at the starbase, and this is reflected in the crew RU cost. As long as you don't lose too many crew members to combat or planet exploration, the RU cost will remain static. But we have only so many warm bodies on this starbase, and if your needs for crew grow beyond a certain point, the cost could increase dramatically. As you know, Captain, we've committed the entire output of this station to building your flagship and your battle fleet into the strongest force possible. However, our resources are very limited, and we feel you must decide how we are to spend our effort and materials. To aid you in making these decisions, we have implemented a resource allocation scheme. We provide you with a numerical assessment of the station's resources and ascribe a cost to each task we can perform and each device we can build. It's up to you to decide how you're going to spend your resource units, or RU as we call them. To acquire more RU, you must bring resources back to the starbase. These resources can be either in the form of mineral ores gathered from planet surfaces or already refined metals and other valuable materials from the wreckage of enemy starships.
Cool. What kind of resources are most...
The most straightforward way you can accumulate resource units is to bring mineral ores back to this starbase. There are probably enough resources in just the nearby dozen stars to build your ship into a powerful battleship or to create a strong task force of combat vessels. I would also recommend that you build several additional storage bays. When gathering minerals, focus on cleaning out one star system at a time. This way you minimize the cost of travel through hyperspace. While I respect your search for abstract knowledge, frankly, Captain, in our present circumstances, I see little use for such data here. Perhaps you can make use of biological information elsewhere.
Perhaps at a space zoo.
What else can I tell you?
No, we're good.
Fine. Is there anything else you need? Bring back lots of minerals, Captain.
Fuel module. Alright, we got lots of modules. 1,000.
Yes, Captain? Goodbye, Captain.
Crew. Fill up our crew again. Not that one. All right. It's a pretty cool starbase. We already hit up the moon. Let's go out, way out. This is Pluto. Pluto. Well, that's adorable. They still think it's a planet. Okay, so this is a star map. These are all the stars in the galaxy. That gives them familiarity. So Andromeda, Hydra, Metis, Cancer. Just picking out some of the ones you'd recognize. Cassiopeia, Seti, Betelgeuse, Rigel. Lots and lots of places to go. Alright, let's scan Pluto. No minerals. Wait, no energy. No biologics. It's got one. So crystal. And this is what I like about this new version, is it gives you the full screen. So once you go up all the way, it should stop you. I don't remember if it rolls back over to the right and left though. Yes, it does. Mayday from surface. We've come under fire from an alien vessel that we found hidden on the surface of Pluto. They killed Kowalski, Fritz, Chin, O'Donnell, Luigi, and all three of the Lieberman triplets. We have returned fire, but our stunner can't penetrate the ship's hull armor. We are initiating emergency launch procedures.
Attention, a big, mean, hostile alien vessel hovering overhead in an obvious attack posture. This is Spotty Captain Whistle. I know you are going to torture me, so let's just get this over with right now. The coordinates of my homeworld, Spatewa, are 241.6 by 368.7, and the ultra-secret Spate cipher, which is known only by me and several billion other Spate, is Huffy Muffy Duffy. Sorry about that little mistake with your landing vehicle. I was so startled when it approached my vessel in a threatening manner that my automated defense systems fired on it when it got too close. I hope nobody got hurt.
Well,
Are you sure? Because your statement is often just a more polite way of saying, "Attention alien vessel, identify yourself or be destroyed." In any event, I am Spotty Captain Toriko of the void ship Star Runner, placed here in this planetary system as part of the powerful Earth-powered Star Force, which our masters, the Ur-quan, established here to make sure the Earthlings don't do anything tricky. About 20 years ago, this region of space was dominated by a loose confederation known as the Alliance of Free Stars, which was composed of the aliens native to these parts who did not want to be enslaved. They made a valiant effort against the superior Ur-quan forces. It even looked like they might miraculously defeat the combined Ur-quan armada, right up to the point at which the Ur-quan totally defeated, indeed annihilated them. When the Ur-quan armada entered the system to subjugate formerly the Earthlings, the Ur-quan presented the humans with the standard slave options: join the hierarchy as combat brawls and retain some autonomy, including the right to travel through space, or become a fellow species and return to free atomic savagery on the surface of their homeworld, encased for all time beneath an impenetrable force shield. The humans chose the latter option, and so were swiftly imprisoned on the surface of Earth. But the Ur-quan didn't trust them to obey the restrictions, so they chose a small group of hierarchy combat starships from the Earth and Spartan fleets to create the so-called Earth Guard and station them at a base on Earth's moon. Originally, we were stationed on Earth's moon, which made us Spate a bit uneasy, because with each passing day we grew more and more worried about the sneaky Earthlings making a surprise attack. But the Illrat kept telling us that it was impossible, since the Earthlings had no ships or weapons whatsoever. That made us feel a bit better, but when the Illrat left, again we grew fearful, and decided to make a strategic redeployment to Mars. Later on we decided it would be prudent to relocate to Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, then later Saturn's moon, Titan, and finally here to Pluto.
so strategic retreats.
The Illrat contingent were supposed to be the toughest ridge crest, the most rigid flipper, yes, the backbone of the Earth Guard force. But they departed the system en masse not long after the last Ur-quan dreadnought vanished from this region of space. They claimed to have received a direct order from their gods of evil and darkness, who had grown dissatisfied with the Illrat's passivity and wanted them to kill, or at least torture someone soon. Personally, I believe they just got bored and went off to have some fun. Well, when they were pushing up into hyperspace 18 years ago, we asked them that very question, and I think they said something to the effect of, "Real soon." We decided that if the Earthlings figured out we had abandoned the base on Luna, they would be more likely to try something sneaky. So, we rigged up some old service androids and ordered them to drive around on the lunar surface in bulldozers, endlessly pushing around the same piles of dirt. In addition, we connected the base's local radio transmitter to an audio malnorme fun-rum called Winky's Happy Night, hoping they would think we were still there. Over the past years, it became necessary to redeploy strategically some of our Earth-powered forces to our homeworld in case of a sudden surprise attack by a vicious, unrelenting alien race which we Spotty call the Ultimate Evil! Dozens, that is to say scores and perhaps even hundreds of my brethren stride through the corridors of this specially modified, super-efficient, mass destruction-oriented starship, which could lay siege to an entire planetary system should we choose to do so, which, fortunately for you, we have decided not to do today. I am undone. You are far too clever for a poor Spotty like me, and now I must submit to your superior alien intellect. I guess I am not revealing any truly important secrets if I tell you that each of my species' Lunar-class void ships typically holds 30 Spotty crewmen, though at present my vessel, the Star Runner, is not up to full complement due to the needs of my homeworld in their resistance against the Ultimate Evil. And in fact, my vessel is somewhat understaffed right now, seeing as how I am the only spotter on board, which is a bit frightening, as I am sure you can understand. How true, Captain, how true! In truth, just between us, during the past 7 years, I have been quite ill at ease, and yet now I find myself enjoying your company. This witty dialogue, and the presence of your huge, powerful, death-dealing starship, which, being my friend, you would certainly feel compelled to use in order to save me from any hostile life forms who threatened me with death.
It's what makes this game so great. The
And yet,
dialogue.
the ultimate evil remains largely unmanifest, and its powers and exact intentions are still a bit obscure, since it lurks just outside the range of even the most sensitive long-range detectors, which we feel gives conclusive evidence as to the ultimate evil's nefarious intent. Since it was our most powerful and unforgiving masters, the Ur-quan, who stationed us here, we knew it would be grossly stupid to disobey them completely, but we decided it would be okay to send just one ship home. We used one of our most ancient and solemn rituals, Poon Taffy, to pick the lucky ship. Then, some months later, we decided that it wouldn't really hurt if we sent one more ship home. And then later we sent another, and then another. Well, you get the idea. Alas, as fate would have it, when the final ritual was performed, I, Barrisso, was left here alone. For, as even the most immature in wrestling knows, there must always be one spotter who picks the short top runs. Our masters don't really keep us very well informed about their goings-on, so that all we know is that immediately after the subjugation of the last Alliance race, the Hut, I think, the Ur-quan gathered their dreadnoughts and departed toward the edge of the galaxy, commanding us to obey the slave laws or face their wrath when they returned. We only know bits and pieces of what happened to each race. For instance, when defeated, the Yahat joined the hierarchy as combat roles, while the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded on a planet in the Bug-Squirt star system. No, that's not right. I forget its name. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, the Shofixti. They were utterly wiped out in a gigantic blaze of glory.
Wow.
The Shofixti were half feral, as you know, having been uplifted by the Yahat just a few decades before the start of the war. Given their habit of detonating those suicidal so-called glory devices in combat, it came as no particular surprise to me when, upon the arrival of the Ur-quan Primary Task Force at their homeworld, the Shofixti caused their sun to explode in a colossal supernova, destroying the entire planetary system, and not incidentally dozens of Ur-quan dreadnoughts. Happy days and jubilation! I discard all prejudice and hesitations and accept and celebrate your offer of protection and your undying commitment to my well-being. I must wax melancholy for just a moment, though, and make sure you understand that any other spaceships we meet at large in the galaxy are not going to be quite so responsive to your friendly gestures as myself, since they bear more heavily the yoke of Ur-quan enslavement and are also apt to talk themselves out of allying with a totally unknown alien, which I, having been left here alone, cannot do. Welcome me aboard, Captain.
Yeah, we got a Spathy. Alright, so we're going to save the game here. We're going to pick it up again. Call this 1. Pick it up here tomorrow. Play some more Star Control. I'm going to try to get that controller fixed. If I can't get it fixed before I start recording tomorrow, may record something else in between while I try to get the controller up and working, because turning with the keyboard is better in this version, but not spectacular. So tuning up the controller would be better. I'll do some research on that and see. But if you're enjoying this series, I'm still nostalgic as anything about it. So trying to remember all of the things that I did in this game over the years when I was playing it, just awesome. And looking forward to getting the new game. I already have the new game. Pre-ordered it, waiting for it to be delivered, and as soon as it's delivered, well, here's the plan. We're going to play Star Control 2 until the new game releases, and then we will play the new game, because I don't think there's any way we can see all the planets. We'll see how far we get in the story, though, and see how that goes. But that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing this blast from the past, and I hope you definitely check it out and pick up a copy if you've been pining for this game, because honestly it's well worth what they're charging for it. Now, if you have not played the series before but you've heard about it and are interested in it, do your research on which one you want to buy, because Star Control 1 is basically just ship battles, which is pretty cool, but it may not be the game you're looking for. And Star Control 2 has more the storyline method in it. It's called the Ur-quan Masters, and then there's a Star Control 3, which we may get to before the game comes out, or we may get to it after the game comes out. So we may do that one after we finish the new one. So I don't remember what the third one's called. Anyway, there's a lot going on in this series right now. I believe there's also another game being developed by the original developers of the game in the first place. So the new one that is coming out that I've pre-ordered was developed by Stardock, so it's probably going to be pretty decent. Definitely got that on pre-order. I will put links to this game in the description where you can pick it up in the Steam store, and all the relevant details that I know will fill in. I need to pull up some research notes on this and see. Well, shoot, I don't remember much about this game. But anyway, I'll also put in the link in the description, the version that I'm playing, which is the high definition version that you can get off of SourceForge, I believe. So you can check that out there. But I'm going to head off to bed because I am exhausted. But I'm going to get this started uploading, and it's going to take me a bit of time to put the description together. I'll probably copy the description between the videos because it's just easier that way. And it pretty much never changes, so definitely check out more of these if you're interested in seeing the series and seeing what's going on, but just be aware there are differences between the Steam version and the free SourceForge version you can get. Mostly the video, the voiceovers, the lander window being bigger. Because I think in the Steam version... Where's my mouse? I don't have one. Probably get a window about the size of Pluto that's supposed to convey the image of the map that's down in the lower portion of the screen. that's all you get to see. So that made it really, really hard to record because you couldn't really see anything that was going on. It's not impossible to play. It's just really hard to follow in a recording. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to try to overcome some of these technical issues, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. If not with this, we'll definitely be back with something else. We'll work on the technical issues, getting the controller working and tuned up. But I will see you guys later. Take it easy.